Okay, so what you will need today, we need to check your homework. I'm going to show you the answer key in just a second and then have a brief conversation with you about one of the problems. You're going to need your calculator, your textbook, maybe not journal for notes. I think most of them will go in the textbook. There's a few problems that I'm going to work that's not in your textbook, so you probably will need some paper. And then you'll want your tracker to write down your assignment. So get your homework out and then start this video again. So here are the answers. I'll scroll it so that you can see all of them. I want to talk to you about this first answer because according to the Springboard book, and let me see if I still have it open. Let's see. I think I closed it. But anyway, according to your Springboard book, that was, what page was that? 4 something. My apologies. I'm tired. I need to get some rest, but I still got to drive a whole bunch of time. So where in the heck was this homework? Well, for goodness sakes, let me just look. Where was the homework? Page 399. So let me go back. Page 399. That's where I need to go. How do I get there fast? Page 399. Good grief. Here we go. Okay. So this is what the problem looked like. How can this be the answer? It can't. I mean, it can be, but so can this. So if you wrote this right here, or if you just left it the same way that they wrote it, this is a horizontal, it is a fraction. Fractions are opposite, so it's a horizontal stretch by a factor of 6. That's what you could have written, a horizontal stretch by a factor of 6, if this is the parameter change. Why did they write 0.4, and where did 0.4 come from? Take the square root of 1 over 6. Type it in your calculator, the square root of 1 over 6. And guess what you get? You get 0.4. How is that possible? Because it's the same way that we simplify problems like the square root of 12. We simplify the square root of 12 by turning it into the square root of 4 times the square root of 3. Why do we do that? Because we know the square root of 4 is 2. So the square root of 12 simplifies down to 2 square roots of 3. Well, they just took the square root of 1/6. Why? Because they can. Why did they do that? I don't know. I don't think it's any easier. But by pulling out that 1/6 to be a 0.4 on the outside, now we have a vertical shrink. So all the y values shrink by a factor of 0.4. I did put it on Desmos to show you. So this is a horizontal stretch. It changes each one of the x values. It was 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2, but it changed all of the x values. 0, 0, but we multiplied 1 times 6 and got 6. We multiplied 4 times 6 and got 24. And you see that that's the graph, okay? You pull this other graph, turn this other graph back on, where you make it a vertical compression, and you see it's the exact same graph. You can see the other points, the 0, 0, and the that was the 6, 1, and that was the 24, 2. Those are still on the graph, but then so are the ones where we shrink the y values by 0.4. So 0 times 0.4 is 0, 1 times 0.4 is 0.4, and 4 times 0.4 is 2 times 0.4 is 0.8. So that right there is where we got those. So anyway, what I'm saying is these two graphs are exactly the same. Okay, so the question is, you could have described it as a vertical shrink or a horizontal stretch. It would have been the same thing. So let me scroll the answers up. you can pause the video if you haven't had a chance to check it. Pause the video, check these answers, pause the video if I'm going too fast. Here are the answers to numbers 8 through 14. That should get your homework checked. If you have any questions, send me an email, message me through It's Learning or whatever, and I'll try to answer your questions. Okay.